Hello, it's time for our meditation group. I see Carl. Hello, Carl. It'll just take a few moments for people to see that we're live. So, in the meantime, watch your breath. Take some deep breaths. And once a few more people show up, we will start talking about what's going on. Beautiful day here in Massachusetts. Just couldn't ask for a better day. Not a cloud in the sky, about 72 degrees, little breeze, it's nice. We have to appreciate the little things, especially nowadays when things can be so awful looking. So what we do is we talk for 15 minutes. We kind of go back and forth, see what's going on with everybody in the chat. Kind of a debriefing for 15 minutes. And then the last 15 minutes we go into a guided meditation. Everybody's showing up. Thanks for being here. Thank you so much for taking the time. Let me know you can hear me okay, or just let me know if there's any problem with the sound, because I can't tell from here. So no news is good news. If you can hear me, you don't have to let me know. But if you have trouble hearing me, let me know. So it's really important that we do this every week. It really is making a difference. It's nice in Maryland too. Good, good, good. You know, it really, really does make a difference. And I know that it's not like the general consensus, like this isn't really mainstream, that people get together and they, you know, they do a guided meditation together. But I'm going to read you something that my best friend sent me, because I think it's really interesting. She and I talk about metaphysical things all the time. That's why she's my best friend in Nashville. Neuroscientists at Princeton have discovered that human brains emit and receive extremely low-frequency electromagnetic waves that create a global neural network, connecting all conscious minds. Using sensitive magnetometers, researchers detected that individual brains produce coherent field patterns that can influence other brains up to 10,000 kilometers away. I don't know if this is related. So there it is. So that's science. What we're doing here has been studied. So human beings' brains emit and receive extremely low frequency electromagnetic waves that create a global neural network connecting all conscious minds. You can hear me perfectly. Thank you. Did you hear all that? That's pretty big. That's why I say thank you so much for showing up on Thursday nights. Most people don't know that what we do is scientifically researched and shown to be reality, that all our minds are connected. And we do that, we visualize that often too in the meditation. I invite you to all meditate for sending positive vibrations to the Texas Democrats. I haven't heard too much today. Haven't really looked, but I haven't heard too much today about where they're at and what's going on. But we need to send them protective and calming energy. These Texas Democrats, they work for about $600 a month. I mean, I can relate to that, but maybe you guys can relate to that too. But they have real jobs. And so they are sacrificing, and for the sake of our democracy, these Texas Democrats are sacrificing, because if they don't do this, then then Dumpy can just turn this entire country into an authoritarian dictatorship. So it's really huge what they're doing, and send lots of vibrations to Governor Pritzker. What he's doing is extremely courageous too. And let's imagine more and more people being exceedingly courageous. And that includes me and you. One thing that struck me that I've kind of been pondering all day is that Kristi Noem is having to appeal to, gosh, it just feels like we're in Russia, right? When Putin had to like say everybody must serve. I mean, that's a more extreme example, obviously, but Kristi Noem's putting out the call that she needs people to do the job of ICE, and they weren't attracting enough ICE soldiers or whatever you want to call them, terrorists. So she said any age male can come and join ICE. So when I really started to think about it, I started to realize that, and you know, you all can realize this too. There's nobody in my life that I can imagine that I've ever met ever that would do what ICE is doing. Because you'd have to have it, you'd have to be like Kristi Noem, who can shoot an innocent puppy dog and just think it's fine and talk about how she shot her dog and her goat. So she can't get enough people that are that filled with vile, murderous energy. You have to be a sadist to be part of ICE. And I know, yeah, no one you've ever met, right? I can't think of one person I've ever met in my entire existence that could do what ICE is doing. If you think about it, you'd have to have within you the ability to, did you see them running out of the Penske moving van? You'd have to have the ability to hide and then ambush, like, I don't know, Home Depot or, you know, a park where kids are playing. You'd have to have within you to go, I'm going to ambush these people and I'm going to grab the father of these children away from the, I mean, as the children are screaming, right? Or completely disrupt this restaurant or whatever place that they go into that these people are just, they're just working. So the point I want to make about that is that we are in a vibrational consciousness, etheric energy, collective energy, where that much violent, sadistic energy in a human being is not matching up to their need. Yeah, you put yourself in danger too, that's true. But most people have a conscience, right? Most people are like, I couldn't do that. That's a terrible thing to do. So it'll be interesting to see how this unfolds. So when we're up to 15 minutes, we'll go into our guided meditation, but I'd like to address anything that you all are concerned about. Yeah, ICE is using Gestapo tactics. Yeah, that's what this is. They are doing the same thing that was done in Hitler's Germany. They are behaving like Nazis, but the collective consciousness is at a higher vibrational frequency than that. I've mentioned before, Boston has one of the lowest crime rates in the country. Maryland's crime rate is down. Like, the crime rate is down. And under Joe Biden, the crime rate was way down. And I have always said that the frequency that we're in cannot sustain that level of evil. It's all coming up to the surface. It's all being dredged up, but it's like everything that has been dark and evil and low vibration right now, we're moving into 5D, people, you know? So I've described it like this before. It's like if you have a table and on the table there's a bunch of sand, and the table, maybe there's an earthquake or something, I don't know, the table starts to, you know, get moved around, right? The and if it's like doing this, then after a while, all the sand will just kind of come off of the table because the table's shaking. That's kind of like how it is. If the table starts vibrating, then the sand eventually will just come off the table because it can't sustain the vibration. So this that they're doing, this evil that they're perpetrating, doesn't have the energetic support. And so we really need to be in a place of always recognizing that. And I always will encourage you to go to the good news stories. And if somebody's always putting out good news, like maybe it's a Substack, if they always have a good newsletter that makes you feel up, make a comment, thank them for being positive. We are not going to do in the chat. We're not going to bring up things that are making us afraid. That's not the point. So let's really just remember that. If you have a question about how to cope, then you can ask before we go into the guided meditation in just a couple of minutes. So in the meantime, make sure that you are in a quiet place where you won't be interrupted. Remember, this work is powerful. It doesn't matter how many people are here or not here. Where two or more are gathered, there's a lot of power. So let's do this. And think about how you want to be involved in your community. Just think about how you want to be involved in your community and helping to save our democracy. Maybe it's raising awareness. Maybe you notice in your neighborhood that people don't seem to know what's going on. All right. Once again, I really, really appreciate you all being here. I know a couple people are mentioning RFK Jr. I don't think he's going to stay in that position. I've noticed a lot of people going around with masks on, even if they're outdoors. So I think many people are aware that if there's some kind of a pandemic, if there's some kind of a virus going around, or just let's be in the awareness that we won't be told about it. Your local police department in Maryland has a meet and greet picnic for the citizens of your town. That's great. I love that idea, Darren. That's a wonderful thing. More community. We're seeing the community in Texas coming together. For God's sake, this is what Greg Abbott's up to when they've lost loved ones in the floods. And Christine Ohm has blood on her hands for that, for not responding. And so does Dumpy for taking away FEMA. We're going to raise the energy. Okay, so make sure you're in a comfortable spot. We'll start at the 15-minute point exactly. I do that for a reason so that when you go back, I mean, I need 15 minutes to gather people here for everyone to show up. But so you can go back, you can do the guided meditation all week long. You can go back and do any of the other ones that we have. Please do the one that is 5 minutes long, the meditation to send energy to the Texas Democrats. And make sure your cats aren't going to walk all over you. And get ready. We're raising the energy. Okay. Are you ready? Are you calming down so we can do this? All right. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close your eyes and take a deep breath in and hold it, and a longer breath out. Take another deep breath in and hold it, and a longer breath out. And another deep breath in and hold it, and a longer breath out. Give your body permission to relax and let go of all tension from the day. Say to your body, it is okay to relax and release all tension. And do a mental scan of your body. Notice any place in your body that's tense. Notice any clenching, any place that feels like it's tied up in a knot. Any place in your body that you feel a gripping kind of an energy. And bring your attention to those parts of your body that feel like they're tensed up. And just simply say mentally, it's okay to relax. Relax. And now bring your focus to your toes and the soles of your feet and the tops of your feet. Relaxing them as you bring your focus up to the calves. Let all the tension go from your calves and your knees. Any tension in the thighs and lower abdomen and buttocks and hips. Just allow yourself to just let go. Give yourself permission to not be tense. Now focus your awareness on the tailbone and vertebrae by vertebrae moving up. Relax each vertebrae of your spine, one at a time. Up, up, up till you reach the base of your skull. Scan your entire spine, mentally scan it, and give your backbone permission to relax. And now relax the stomach and waist area, that big diaphragm muscle that moves the lungs up and down. Relax the rib cage and the lungs and the heart. Relax your shoulders and arms and elbows. Your forearms are relaxed. You can have your hands on your thighs, palms up. Relax the wrists and the hands and the fingers. Bring that relaxation up into the neck, shoulders, throat. Especially relax the jaw. We hold so much tension in our jaw. Let go. All the many hundreds of muscles in your face. Relax, and your scalp relax. Imagine a huge ball of light that looks just like the sun about 3 feet above the top of your head, shining light onto your body. Imagine that your body, your skin is porous and is absorbing the light. And you feel this light like you're a sponge soaking up the light. Imagine the light is a healing and balancing light. And as you're focused on it, all the stress, all the worry, all the concern, all that fear, all that doubt and cynicism, uncertainty, the sense of being paralyzed by fear is just released. Really feel a sense of all those negative, tense, stress-producing emotions. Imagine them dissolving completely and not being part of your being. Just imagine it. What does it feel like to have none of this fear and worry and tension and stress? It's absent. Feel the feeling. Imagine the feeling. Imagine yourself in your life. Just see an image of yourself in your life, moving through your life without any fear, without worry plaguing you at every moment. Imagine yourself walking through your life completely trusting and not stressed and not feeling a need to be on guard for anything that might come and jump out at you. Just release yourself of the burden of this. Take a long, slow, deep breath in and hold it as long as you can, and a longer breath out. On the exhalation, you can release the remaining negative emotions that have kept you in a place of disharmony. Just let them go. If you can at least imagine it, you can at least get close to it on a regular basis. And see yourself, imagine yourself in a place in nature where there is a path and you're walking down a path. Whatever place in nature you choose to imagine is perfectly fine. You're walking down a path and you start to notice that on each side of the path that you're walking down, there are figures. And as you get closer, you notice that these figures are figures in American history who have been heroes for democracy. Just allow yourself to walk slowly down the path. And as you do, you don't converse with them, you just notice them. Maybe some tip a hat. Maybe some give you a little smile and a nod. They each acknowledge you in some way. Maybe some of them you don't even know who they are, but you know for sure that they are heroes for democracy from our past history. And you're walking down the path and they're acknowledging you. Just a simple acknowledgement occurs with each and every one. And as you're walking down this path slowly, there are so many. There are soldiers who have fought in the Civil War, for the Union and the Revolutionary War. All the different people along the path who have helped our democracy. And as you are walking past them, you feel a little bit of energy being transmitted to you. There's no need to be concerned about knowing who they are. Just know that you are in the presence of great spirits who have stood up for freedom in America throughout our history. And eventually you come to the end of the path, and at the end of the path, feeling filled up with the transmissions of energy from all these divinely directed beings who lived on American soil, who fought for freedom fearlessly, committed. They laid down the foundation of this nation. They wrote our United States Constitution. They led the way for the American people for 250 years. And at the end of the path, you see before you, several yards in front of you, you see the White House. It's an image. It might be hazy. It might be hard to make out. But you know it's the White House. And you know it represents the seat of our government, of our nation. And all those that you have passed along on the path, that you've received energy transmissions from, all those heroes for democracy are sending you the message. It's up to all of you what gets created. It's up to you. The vision is hazy of the White House, but you can imagine right now what you want to see. And know that our ancestors, our founding fathers, all those who have fought for freedom in this nation during the civil rights movement, women's suffragette movement, all the challenges that we faced, but these people stood tall. Imagine that you can feel them now behind you as you're facing a hazy image of the White House. And you feel coming down the path rays of light energy. And as these rays of light from all these beings hit you from behind, giving you a little nudge forward, you feel filled up with beautiful light. And the picture that you have imagined in your mind for a healed America, a White House that is not filled with slime and corruption and crimes, the image becomes clearer. And you see American democracy with all the smoke, all the fog cleared. You see the symbol of American democracy as our White House. You see it all restored to its most utmost beauty. You see Kamala Harris and Tim Walz in the White House. This is your vision. You are free to imagine it, and we are free to imagine it together exactly like we want it to be. We now have the reinforcement of all those who have gone before us. And keep in mind that of those who have gone before us, who have fought for democracy for 250 years, you may have been several of them in past lifetimes, or at least one lifetime. You were there. So the fog and the haze clears and you see a crystal clear image. Imagine it's a gorgeous day and you're looking at the White House and all the crime is no longer there. And you can imagine yourself going into it and seeing good people, kind people, ethical people, strong constitutional scholars, people who are proud of our nation and proud to serve. And now you see to the right a hazy image of the Capitol, and feeling the energy from those who have gone before us as part of you now, those transmissions of energy. You see our beautiful Capitol, and you see and know that all those within are ethical, are proud public servants, upholding their oath to our Constitution. And you see an image, a hazy image of the Supreme Court building, and what you know for sure is the Supreme Court that was is no longer there. Feel the haze clearing. Feel the energy from our founding fathers and all those who have gone before us, heroes for democracy. Feel their energy joined with your energy as you see the haze clear and the Supreme Court building filled with light and filled with people that are divinely directed, that are true public servants, and the corruptness and the evil is no longer there. And now you just simply rest in the knowing, seeing in your mind's eye, and feeling in your physical being what it is to be a democracy restored, to live in a country that has gone through a type of a war and emerged victorious for democracy. Our ancestors, those who have gone before us, are letting us know they too struggled, they too fought, many lost life and limb, but democracy still stood, and our flag was still there. And receive the message, our flag will continue to be there, and it will be restored to representing freedom for all peoples, and a beautiful country that returns to being a beacon for a working democracy. We earn our way back. We do it together. And we are so very grateful. And now feel yourself, imagine yourself turning back and walking along the path, and all those beings that transmitted beautiful energy to you are smiling and so pleased and so happy, as if you were a guest at the party and they were so happy that you showed up. And you're walking down the path and you're feeling the gratitude and you're feeling the encouragement. You're feeling that they're so proud of you for being involved and for keeping on going. But now you have a new sense that you're not doing it alone. You're doing it with all of these wonderful helpers that live on the etheric, that are with us always. Feel the difference, feel the shift in your energetic being. Imagine yourself walking back into the place where you're seated, your etheric body coming back into your physical body. Take a deep breath in and hold it, and a longer breath out. And be in the emotional feeling of this having been done. And whenever you can throughout the week, you can remind yourself of this feeling of it having been done. We've created it. I will slowly count up from 5 to 1 to bring you to a fully awakened state. If you wish to continue meditating, feel free to do that and to ignore the awakening suggestions. 5, 4, 3, coming up to 2. And at the count of 1, if you're ready, if you'd like to, you can open your eyes. And 1. And namaste.